Hey guys, today I was invited by Nova Business School to give a talk on my story and how to build a successful business. I have the full clip here and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Can we get some energy in the room? Alrighty, so as Maria said, my name is Thomas. I am the founder and the manager of the More Patients company. We are currently the largest dental marketing company in Portugal. We are also one of the largest players in the UK. So we help dental practices grow. It's obviously the gist of the company. And our company currently, I actually prepared some slides, so let's see the slides. So this is me. This is the locations we are at now. So currently our company operates in 60 different cities. We are both in the UK and Portugal, as I mentioned before. We are also planning to expand to the US. We have 3 offices. We have an office in the greatest city in the world, Oeiras. We also have another office in Porto, na Maia, and another one in London, in Canary Wharf. So these are the 4 outposts that we have. Obviously, the Lisbon one is our head office, and we are trying to grow this now to the US as well to become a global player instead of just a local European player. However, if you look at this, it seems like our company actually has its stuff figured out. That is not the case. So I did not have like a rich father. I did not have some wonderful scholarship that got me into Harvard or Yale or some lucky break. It was actually quite the opposite. So when I turned 18, what I pretty much did was get on a one-way flight to LA. I was going to build the next large company. That did not work out as intended, at least in the beginning. So life hit me, and reality hit me pretty hard when I got there, because obviously when you are Portuguese, you have different expectations of costs, and especially the cost of living in LA is not anywhere near close to the same as in Portugal. And also scaling a company there's a lot more competition. The market is very mature. The players you're coming up against are very, very tough. And I literally got on the plane and I got there. Like, I did not have family there. I did not have friends there. I was just gonna do some IT related stuff because I was always into computers, and so I was gonna do some websites and stuff and just figure it out. I kind of figured it out, and I ended up somehow gaining some traction there, but very little, doing stuff all over the place. So it was not the company that I currently manage. It was a very early version of the company. We were doing everything like basic stuff. IT. You told me you want an email server, I'll go Google and I'll find some way to build you an email server. Like, there is not a scalable model, and there is no inherent advantage to doing a business like that. And so I ended up in a very funny and ironic twist of fate, coming to the conclusion that the company I now was able to build, the skills that I acquired and the vision I had for the company was actually easier to execute in Portugal than in the US. And so after all that trouble, I actually ended up coming back to Portugal and starting all over again here, but this time building it the right way. And so when I got here, we started off helping practices grow. Obviously, that's the core of the business. We were a very I would call us a very active player. So I had a very small team, obviously, because at that point in time it was me and just a couple of assistants, and we were going forward to the market constantly. And so business development really became like the key area that I mastered, and that helped us scale very fast in Portugal, because in about 3 years we became the largest player in this specific field, because we were so fast and so quick to adapt. And that's one of the core lessons that I've learned, which is speed is king. Speed to market is king. You don't need the perfect product. You don't need the perfect solution. You need to be fast at implementing, and implementing it good enough that there is market fit. Once you achieve market fit, which is pretty much what I was doing in the beginning, then you just want to push it. Just grind, just push it out, doing the cold calls, doing the door knocking, because that's the way a business grows in the early phase. It's not the cute stuff, it's the tough stuff that nobody wants to do, but it's what grows the business. And so eventually we ended up getting a bit larger, and at this point was when I started getting a leadership team in place. And so this is really the point where we are now. We are growing in the UK. We are now a known player in the UK. We've got clients in a lot of cities there. Most of the cities in the UK have someone somewhere working with us, and we also have a team that is a very formidable team. So my role now and the day-to-day that I run now is very, very weird to me still, because as you can see, I'm a very in the trenches, boots in the ground kind of guy, and now my role is really that I need to develop leaders and let the team do the work. And that's a very weird thing when you are a very hands-on operator, because now you need to let go and to develop the team around you. But that's what we need now if we want to go make the leap from the point 3 to to the point 4, because if we want to build a real company with significant enterprise value, I cannot try to manage everything. So I need to get the right people in the right departments and let them do their thing. And what I said once to my director of operations was that she had the authorization to whatever she wanted. If she wanted to burn the whole department down and destroy the company, she could. And I would not interfere, because if you interfere with the leadership team you put in place, then you will not be able to grow, because you will be the bottleneck of the company. And make no mistake, the company only grows up to its bottleneck, and the most common bottleneck is the owner, the founder, the CEO. That person needs to develop his beliefs and the way he operates the business along the time that the company is growing as well. And so that's where we are now. We are now growing in London, in England. We have the office in London, but we are growing in England, and we're very close to stabilizing that market. And once we stabilize our position well there and we become solid, which we are once again very close to do, we will now go to try to grow significantly in the US. And so that's our goal. Our goal obviously is to achieve a very significant size in the US, and we believe we have the right team in place to do it. We already proven the model in the UK, and so if we made it work for the UK, the US should not be, it's still tough, but it should not be that tough. It's a bigger leap to go from Portugal to the UK than to the UK from the US, and so I'm very confident on our team and our delivery on that front. And the goal, if we achieve that, I'm trying to let you in a little bit of my dreams to show you know, guys, so you guys know that it is okay to dream very big. My goal, if we get to this stage, our company, just by any measure, standard valuation company, if you do any multiple on EBITDA that's usually used for smaller businesses, you will see that a company that's taking over the US in our current market would be in a market size with a market cap of several tens of millions of dollars. And if we get to that, what we can actually do is something that the big boys here in Portugal do, and it's really where I would very much like to get the company to, but might not ever happen, but I'll do my best to get there, which is getting the company to issue bonds in the ELI Stock Exchange. The ELI Stock Exchange is the Lisbon Stock Exchange, Euronext Lisbon Stock Exchange. And the goal here, because that will really get us playing with the big boys. If we get here and we are able to issue bonds, we can turn the balance sheet of the company, the valuation of the company, into the balance sheet of the company. This is a very advanced concept. It's a very smart guy, very wealthy guy taught me this. If you have a seven-figure balance sheet, you are solid, but you will usually have to have a seven-figure balance sheet or a six-figure balance sheet, you will need to have a market cap that you will usually have a market cap that's significantly higher than that. However, if your company gets big enough and you are able to issue bonds or take the company public in the stock exchange, you will be able to convert the market value of the company into actual cash in the cash account. And when you get those assets, actual liquid assets in the account that represent the size of the company, you can now use those assets to really start gobbling everything up. And that's where the game becomes interesting, because now you can actually use the valuation that you have, because until the money is in the account, there is nothing happened. But once the money is in the account, you can now use this cash to start doing acquisitions and start really leveraging the value that you've built and scale up faster the organization. This is really where we believe we can take this company, and this is the long-term thinking. This is really something that's going to be incredibly tough to do. We're still a few miles away, but we're closer to there than we were in the beginning. So that's that, and that's where the company is at currently. Now, in terms of a couple things that I think it's important for me to share before we delve into more like hands-on approach, is there's a couple things that I found in my career that really helped me. And if you see everything I do, everything I say, it's in accordance to these principles that I'm showing here. I could not include all my favorite and guiding principles, because that would be an exhaustive list that's way too long for what we're doing here. But I believe these are some valuable principles that have worked very well for me in my life. The first one is ask and you shall receive. It's as simple as that. If we don't ask, we don't get. And if you want something, you need to ask people, buy my stuff, and somebody will buy. If you ask enough people, somebody will buy. And so there is no shame in asking. There is no reason why we should not try to ask. We sometimes try to look sophisticated and not do the ask. I am always asking, and I've done some big deals by asking. So my recommendation to you guys, whenever in doubt, just ask away. Sometimes you get surprised and people actually say yes. The other one is promote. This is really a guiding principle for me. I am always promoting. Like everything I do, everything I'm talking about, you heard the name of my company like 4 times by now. I am also promoting myself. And so I will keep on promoting everywhere I go. It is more important to promote than to breathe. You gotta keep promoting everywhere, anywhere, all the time. It is that important if you want to grow a formidable organization. And not only that, this is something that scales while you scale, because when your company gets bigger, it can't just be you promoting. You need a culture of promotion in the company. You need your team to go to the Thanksgiving dinner or the Christmas dinner with their family, and they need to be pushing your product and your service to their family. That's when you know you have a very solid culture when it comes to business development. The other one is always serve beyond expectations. So this is a principle that is more related to the delivery of the service. It is much easier for you guys to sell your current clients than to sell new clients. And so once you get a client, you want to always over-deliver, or at least always deliver beyond their expectations. Because if you do this, you will be in the reordering business and not in the order-taking business. And this business, the reordering business, is much better, because if you get a client to stay with you for 50 months, you're going to get paid as much as if you get 50 clients to stay with you 1 month. So let that sink in. It is really important to serve beyond expectation. The other one, this is a tough one that I still am trying to learn, and it doesn't seem to sink in, which is hire slow, fire fast. Oftentimes, when we are running an organization that is going fast, we need someone to fill the role. And we really need someone to fill the role. And when you are doing hires based on needing someone to fill out the role, you're going to hire people that are not qualified for the role. Like at this point in time, we sometimes do not increase the lead flow in the sales of the company purposefully, so that we first get the right person in the right place before we scale out the operation. Because when you try to scale out the operation as fast as you can, and let's just throw people at the problem, you end up becoming like a mess of a company of people that don't want to be there, people that don't like the company, don't like the values, and you don't want it. So hire slow, and then the fire fast. This is a tough one, but it is real. When you get the signs, when you went home thinking about what the employee said once, and then it happens again the next week, and then it happens again the next week, you gotta cut the cord. You cannot just hope it goes away, because the most dangerous person to the organization is not the C player, it's not the D player, it is the B player. The B player is the guy that never gave, but also never took. And so you don't fire him because he never took anything, but he never gave anything either. And so you let him just kind of be there, and that's going to cost you long term. So when you see the signs that this person is not a right fit for the role they're in and the company they're in, you got to cut the cord and make it acceptable to their terms, make it pleasant. Letting someone go does not need to be a bad experience. When you let someone go that should not be there, you are doing a service both to the company and to that person, because that person will be able to find a role that suits what they do and what their belief system is much better than what they're currently doing. When you let someone go, it is tough in the moment, but it's better for them and it's better for you. And they will thank you later on if you're honest about it and you actually give them terms that they find fair in the breakup. And that's pretty much it for the hiring. This is really a core tenet of my decisions when it comes to buying stuff, investments, acquisitions. If it doesn't cash flow, say no. We live in a culture where people just cherish valuations and big numbers and big stuff. The numbers I showed you, the reason I talked about our balance sheet and did not talk about our valuation in place to actually track the key performance indicators of our company. This was a lot of stuff, but it is really important, and I hope that it is as helpful to you guys as it was to me, because I took the time to share it, because it is real important stuff. And the last thing I'll leave you with in terms of my quotes and my label principles is no man will make a great business who wants to do it all himself. If we want to grow, we need people. If we want to go fast, we go alone. If we want to go far, we go together. That's the way we build great businesses. And then there's a wife, and then you can barely get up in the morning, and then nothing works anymore, and suddenly you're out of time. And so I think it's really important that we are urgent about the things we really want. And that's to speak on that. Don't, as the saying goes, don't live for tomorrow what you can do today. The worst thing that can happen if you start a business is the business doesn't work out and you are exactly where you were before. The best thing that can happen is it scales to a ridiculous degree and you build a really significant organization. And so when you put them side by side, like worst case scenario, best case scenario, this is not bad. So I would suggest, like as I said before, like whenever in doubt, take the leap, do it. You don't need to do it in a big way. So like you can do everything that you're doing right now and start there on the side and see how it goes. And if it goes well, double down. That's my piece of advice on it. I thank you guys for coming and listening to me trying to say something coherent. Hopefully I said one or two things that were coherent in the middle of my rumbling and mumbling. I hope that you guys, I hope at least that I left some of you better than I found you and share some ideas as I try to make this as the point of my presentation here. You do not need to correspond to the expectations others have on you. You can do whatever you want and be successful at it. And so I would suggest all of you, if you're in the side of whether or not I can do it, whether or not I can take the leap, do it, bet on yourself. That's going to be the best bet you ever do. With that, thank you so much for coming.